I want to thank everybody for coming out. This is not something I'm used to. I don't like public speaking. I went into this because I think that there is just a really bad problem with tribalism, with this dependency on the team that you're on, and it excludes the opportunity to bring people together and compromise. I think one of my strengths is being able to research both sides of an argument, make sure I've done my due diligence in understanding the subjects that matter most to the people in my area, and making sure that I know how to address those when I get to Annapolis. I think that one of my biggest strengths is that I just have a fascination with understanding how everything works. So I'm not somebody that is able to accept a recommendation from somebody to vote on something in a certain way. I have to understand who's behind it, the agenda behind it, and who really benefits from the legislation passed, and I think that's something that's important to understand. When I identified that drug reps are taking advantage of doctors by giving them miseducation, I also realized that's exactly what happens with legislation and lobbyists. So you have two types of lobbyists. You have advocacy lobbyists that have no money in the game, and you have industry lobbyists. And if you are a legislator that can't see the difference between the two and can't identify when an industry lobbyist is trying to benefit themselves and their industry more than the people that you represent, you won't do a good job as a representative in Annapolis. I hope that I've shown today that I have spent the past 9 months trying to make sure I understand that which is most important to the people that I hope to represent. I'm so happy that there is a packed house tonight, and I'm happy for all the people that are going to watch this on the recordings later. I have grown up here. I've worked in large industry and small business. I've worked in the public sector and the private sector. I've seen what I think is most important to address, and I hope that you all agree that I'd be the best candidate. And thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Bailey?
Thank you, everyone, for coming. I want to take this time to say that it would be my honor to represent each and every one of you. Whether you came here like my family came here generations ago, or whether you came here last year, right? That is the pride of Southern Maryland. That's why we are proud to be from St. Mary's County, because we all come together and we work together for a common goal. I think the biggest issue that I have is I want to be available, approachable, and committed to each one of you. I want you to feel that you can walk to my office, open the door, and say, Jack, this is my issue. And if that issue has to do with your family or personal, whatever it is, your issue is going to become my issue. I want to be committed to each one of you. And that's what I offer you when I run as your state senator. I studied quite a bit about that when I did both my undergraduate work at Johns Hopkins and my graduate work at Hopkins. We studied management, we studied dealing with people, being available, and being able to work with people for a common goal. Our goal is for the citizens and the constituents of District 29. I want to say thank you, and thank you very much. I will tell you, public speaking is a big part of this job. And I just feel I'm pretty comfortable with it. But thanks everybody for coming out. Please remember to vote November 6th. Very important to our process. We need everybody to vote. And remember, education, vote for the first initiative, the lockbox. It will definitely help every one of our students across Maryland. Thank you.
Thank you.